Welcome to the Acoustic Milestone Channel. Here we are in the beautiful city of Cordoba. I've been fortunate enough to be here on my family vacation, and I thought that what we'd do tonight would be to have a tour of this beautiful city, and you never know, I might even be able to tell you the odd historical note about some of the amazing monuments that exist here. And I'm also quite looking forward to playing some original songs as well in some really quite special places. So thanks for joining me. Let's get started. I'm not gonna run, I'm not gonna hide, I'm gonna raise my chin and face it and shake the earth with my forward stride. I'm not gonna run, gonna take my time. Oh no, memory needs erasing, the edge will smooth down with the tide. I ain't alone, and there's a music sends a tremor through my soul. And there's the ground just started shaking with these music tapping boots. Heart just stopped to taking, pumping blues back through my roots. I'm gonna grow, gonna raise my way through every soulless cloud. Not gonna run, there's a music sends a tremor through my soul. I'm not gonna run, and the music sends a tremor through my soul. We're approaching the Roman bridge. This bridge is 2,000 years old. But before we get there, look, this is the Calleja, and this was the place that would have fortified the city. Anyone that wanted to get into the old city had to cross the bridge, but first of all, this will be the first toll gate, if you like. So this was Moorish built, not Roman. This is Moorish, 8th century. So restored later on in the sort of Christian times by Enrique II, if my research serves me correctly, to protect the city, which you can see over there, from attacks. But anyway, La Calleja, the Roman bridge, also very popular busking spot, some really great musicians. So let's have a listen as we go. This is a friend of mine, I can't actually remember his name, but he's working hard, so I think he deserves the tip. Hola. So anyway, this is the Roman bridge, an amazing piece of architecture because it's 2,000 years old. It's 20 centuries old, and built by the Romans in the year 1 AD. So, no, 1 BC even. Built in the year 1 BC. 16 arches, and leads over into the old city over there. It's been restored many times. There's so many World Heritage sites here in Cordoba, it's just untrue. I mean, generally new buildings tend to go through a very slow process of being erected because they inevitably dig up some Roman remains or remains from the Visigoths, or it's very difficult not to stumble upon something that isn't thousands of years old. This is the patron saint of Cordoba. This is San Raphael. In the 17th century, there was the Great Plague, killed many people, and San Raphael was the person that the people prayed to, and I think they put his statue there just for a bit of future insurance, you know, to make sure that they were grateful for having gotten over the great hardship that was the plague, but you'll see people going past that, and they often make the sign of the cross. That's what I love about Cordoba. You never know what you're going to find. We're at the end of the Roman bridge, and there's a flamenco show happening. Of course there is. It all starts. I mean, I know what you're thinking. You want this to be during the day so that you can see what's going on, but it's too hot. I can't film during the day. My brother-in-law that's filming this now, it just gets ridiculously hot. But everything happens at night. The city comes alive from 10 o'clock onwards, and you get to experience stuff like this. This is the Arco de Triunfo. Cordoba was a walled city, and the only way to get into the city would have been through many gates. This is the main gate, and there it is in all of its splendour. Before this was put here, there would have been a Roman gate to the city. This was built by the Moors, I think. Is this a Moorish gate? I don't know. I'm not a history buff. I'm a musician. But anyway, it's beautiful. Look at it. So this is basically the start of the Juderia, or the old city, and these are the walls of La Mezquita, very, very famous cathedral. Used to be a mosque. Before that, it was a temple, and it's thought that there was four pillars of an either Visigoth or a Roman temple that the Moors built their mosque on. And then during the Middle Ages, the Christians then kind of arrived and then turned the mosque into a Christian cathedral. And so therefore that's why it's called La Mezquita, because it's a mosque cathedral. It's kind of like a combination of the two things. Yeah, I mean, this started its construction in the year 785 AD by a guy called Abd al-Rahman I. I'm sure Abd al-Rahman I wouldn't mind if I just pitched up and played an original song here. Where you are now, knowing such an easy place. Oh, you're getting through the day somehow, putting on your brave face. Oh, and feelings are the worst thing on which you can't rely. Never gonna be a time that feels right for you to spread your wings and fly. Try to listen to that silent voice. Closer than you think, it's time to step into your joy. Count down from 5, don't you know that's how much time you got before you become your very own worst enemy. If you wanna feel alive and remember the dreams you forgot, when you get down to one, act upon a simple remedy. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, time to get up now. Time for you to rise to the top. Oh, and what will you do now? Smoke from watch or play on a box and scroll your phone. Can't hit send and talk to her and all your friends. Life has got you feeling out of control. Oh, and feelings are the worst thing on which you can rely. Never gonna be a time that feels right for you to spread your wings and fly. Try to listen to that silent voice. You're closer than you think, it's time to step into your choice. Count down from 5, don't you know that's how much time you got before you become your very own worst enemy. If you wanna feel alive and remember the dreams you forgot, when you get down to one, act upon a simple remedy. And oh, I know you can choose a major note in your life's blues. Hesitate to play it, then you never will. Oh, our mind has got its uses, including making great excuses. Yeah, do it and beat your brain to it and feel the thrill. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, time to get up now. Time for you to rise to the top. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time to get up now. Time for you to rise. The thing I find really fascinating is that if you lived in Cordoba in 950 AD, basically you would have been living in more or less the capital of the world. Because Cordoba was actually declared its own independent caliphate in 951, I think. It was a very, very powerful place to be. Culturally, economically, Cordoba was the place. I mean, it's changed a bit since then. The palace that they made, called Medina Azahara, was invaded in the year 1000, and then things started to change a bit, and then in 13th century then along came Christian armies and pretty much took over the place. But you know, for a good 500 years then there was Christian people, Moorish people, Jewish people all living side by side here in this place. Pretty awe-inspiring to think about all of the layers of cultures that have kind of been embedded in this building over time, because it started off, well, legend has it that it started off as a Roman temple, and there were 4 pillars of a Roman temple. Then along came the Visigoths, and then after that, of course, the Moors decided to turn this, Abdul-Rahman I decided to turn this into a mosque, and then along came the Christians and decided to turn it into a cathedral. So it's gone from temple to whatever the Visigoths did with it, that's not clear to me, and then a mosque, and then a cathedral, and here it still stands, layer upon layer upon layer of different cultures and influences over 2,000 years. It's walking through the belly of a juderia. Lots of tabernas where you can stop and have a wine or a beer, some tapas. And what time is it now? 20 to 11 at night. Quite easy to get lost around here as well. I'm lucky that I'm with my brother-in-law. He knows the ropes. Even though I've been visiting this place for 20 years, it always seems to look new. It always seems to reinvent itself somehow. I don't know, there's always a street that you haven't found or a bar you haven't been to. I don't know why that is, but it seems to continue to be a bit of a labyrinth for me even now. Marco is going to try and be a bit cheeky and see if we can record a bit of this flamenco show. You want to do it? Seguro? He's going to try and record a bit of the flamenco show. They might kick us out. I think your cheekiness paid off there, Marco. They were really nice about it, actually. They let us film a bit of that flamenco show. Let's come back here for a drink. What's it called? La Chiquita. La Chiquita. Patio Flamenco y Gastro Taberna. This part of La Mezquita is the north door that we're coming up to now. There's a really special festival during Semana Santa, which is the Easter week. And what happens is, through the door which we're about to see, the legionnaires bring enormous statues carried on their shoulders, and it is sort of a pilgrimage, a reenactment of the Passion of Christ. And all of the important moments of Holy Week are reenacted. These enormous statues are carried on their shoulders and they are paraded around the entire city. And there's more than 30 processions that happen. And all of these streets are closed off. And actually you have to kind of really struggle to find a place to stand in order to see these incredible statues which are adorned in all sorts of beautiful ways. This is the bell tower of La Mezquita. This is the really impressive north door that all of the statues come from this door ready to parade around the city for the pilgrimage of Semana Santa. So we've come to the end of this tour. We've seen some fantastic World Heritage sites here in Córdoba, including the Calleja, the Roman Bridge, La Mezquita, the Arco de Triunfo, but I really want to show you something very special. Not quite as grandiose, it's definitely worth a look. And what it is one of the narrowest streets in the whole of Europe. And it's got great acoustics. This street here is thought to be, well, it's called El Panuelo. The street's real name is Pedro Jimenez, and I think that's got a strong connection to the world famous wine, sort of a very sweet wine. And I believe that at its narrowest point, it's supposed to be just 50 centimetres, which is about the size of a handkerchief if the handkerchief is stretched out. Handkerchief in Spanish, pañuelo. What's it called? It's called El Calle de Panuelo. So I think we're getting to its narrowest point now, actually. I think this is the narrowest point here. So I've got to be quite careful with my guitar because it won't fit through. At the end of this street, there is a little square with a tiny little fountain. It's a dead end, but it's beautiful, and it smells of oranges, and it's amazing. So this is Calle de Panuelo, Calle de Panuelo, if I can say it correctly. And I think this would be a really good place to do a song. Maybe here, yeah? Where there's more light, do you think? Should we do it here where there's more light? Can you get the street in the background? Okay. Here we are in our lifetime, starting to move pretty fast. The world's a stage, this show ain't no pantomime. Ever had the feeling you were miscast? I've often had my head stuck in the clouds, writing down my dreams, thinking my thoughts out loud. Can't remember that picture being taken, lies an old song I didn't know I knew. My life's an old song I've forgotten that I knew. And here we are in our lifetime. Remember when 19 was old, and the blaze of a Devon summertime, flashing back to the stories you were told. I've often had my head stuck in the clouds, writing down my dreams, thinking my thoughts out loud. Can't remember that picture being taken, life's an old song I didn't know I knew. My life's an old song I've forgotten that I knew. And here we are in our and here we are in our lifetime. And here we are in our lifetime. And here we are in our lifetime. The one thing about this street is I think it's got great acoustics. Perfect place to do a song. It's a secret knock. They'll answer in a minute. No, there's no one home. Hope you enjoyed this tour. Thank you so much for tuning into the Acoustic Milestone channel, and I hope to see you on the next video. Thank you very much for liking and subscribing, of course.